It's now really my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce one of my personal and my professional heroes. The chairman of the American Conservative Union is Al Cardenas. We have people in the Republican Party and even some people in the conservative movement who weren't with Ronald Reagan until it was cool to be with Ronald Reagan. Our chairman at ACU, Al Cardenas, is not one of those timid souls. Al Cardenas in 1976 went against the Republican Party establishment and became the co-chair of Ronald Reagan's campaign in 1976 in the state of Florida before he was even 30 years old. He came back to help Ronald Reagan again in 1980. He's one of the giants of the American conservative movement. I'm proud to call him my boss, tremendous leader for the American conservative movement, Al Cardenas.
Good morning, everyone. Boy, it's great to be here, and good morning, Colorado, the center of the universe today. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our third regional CPAC. Thank you to our sponsors and our partners and our board members who've helped to make this day a success. For almost 50 years, the American Conservative Union has served as an umbrella organization, harnessing the collective strength of conservative groups fighting for Americans who are concerned about liberty, personal responsibility, traditional values, and a strong national defense. We're known for three things. We define conservatism through 40 years of setting the gold standard for congressional and now state ratings. We grow the conservative movement through our national and regional CPACs, just like this one. And we have a track record of winning for conservatives through our Political Action Committee. With your purchase of your CPAC Colorado tickets today, you became a card-carrying conservative. And so congratulations. Yeah. We encourage you to get involved and check out our brand new website at conservative.org. Today we're pleased to offer you a star-studded lineup of top conservative leaders from around the nation, and as well as right here in the Mountain West. And during the speeches and panels today, you're going to be hearing the conservative reaction to last night's debate for the very first time. And speaking of which, what a night last night, huh? Let's hear it for Mitt Romney. Last night's first presidential debate made it clear that voters have a very important choice on Election Day. In only 1 month, paths laid out by the candidates could not be more different. We're in the home stretch of the most significant presidential election since perhaps the one in 1800. It's important that all of us stay together, side by side, marching to victory. Because if not, let's take a good look at what another 4 years under this president would look like. More than 70% of Americans acknowledge that things are not right in our country, and the future does not look promising under the current president. Pundits claim that conservatives have not made the case that President Obama is responsible for this bad economy. Really? Let me share a couple of obvious examples. Price of gas was $1.83 when this president took office. It's now at least $3.80 a gallon. He stopped the Keystone Pipeline project, gave funds to other countries to extract oil and other natural gas reserves, but reversed course at home on our own offshore drilling and drilling in safe U.S.-owned properties to our great national detriment. If you're a family with children, last night you're reminded our national debt has more than doubled due to his failed stimulus bills and over-the-top spending decisions. In other words, it took 44 presidents to accumulate the same amount of debt that this president's accumulated in less than 4 years. Our budget's paid for by huge debt every year, over $1 trillion in debt each of the last 3 years. As a result, our annual interest payment on our debt is now about $225 billion. And by 2021, it'll be $792 billion. Let me put this in proper perspective so that you understand the magnitude of this. Our total national budget is $800 billion other than entitlement programs. That means that in a decade, we either shut down the government like Greece or we elect a new president today. Our credit rating has been lowered on his watch for the first time in our nation's history. And China owns 12% of that debt. As a matter of fact, foreign countries own 50% of our country's debt. And now every American is born with $50,000 in debt to their name. And if you're a senior, you clearly lost some sleep last night after listening to the $750 billion plus that this president is removing from Medicare. If you're a hardworking American worried about job security, Governor Romney reminded you that 23 million of us remain unemployed. The average wage earner has lost $4,000 in real income since this president took over. And health care insurance costs have risen over $2,500 for each American family in the last 4 years. You also learned that this president wants to further increase your taxes in the next 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot afford 4 more years, really, of this insanity. And as a Hispanic American myself, I'm appalled at the president's campaign ads to Hispanics here in your very own state of Colorado, filled with uncalled for fear-mongering, falsehoods, and class warfare. In truth, they seek to hide the dismal circumstances they've left my community in. Just consider that 63% of all new jobs in the next decade in America will require at least some college education. 44% of white Americans are there. We still have a major gap. But in the Hispanic community, only 21% of Hispanics hold an associate degree. Not a good dawning. Our unemployment rate in the Rocky Mountain region is an unacceptable 11%. And that's not even count the underemployed or those who just stopped looking. And in the Hispanic communities, the unemployment rate is far above that. And I could go on. But you know, I want you to hear from the great speakers we have lined up for you today. And by the time this day is over, our goal is that every single one of us will have a deeper and keener understanding of how critical, how urgent, how imminent Americans' downfalls will be if this president is reelected. Listen, I know Mitt Romney, and I trust Mitt Romney, and America needs Mitt Romney, and victory's on our grasp. Let's go win. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being here today, and enjoy our program, and God bless you for being here. Thank you again.